Good morning, boys. Today I welcome you all for the biozoology class of Standard 9. So, in the previous videos, we discussed about the characteristic features of invertebrates and its classification. Today we are going to discuss about the characteristic features of chordates and its classification. Chordates are having the following characteristic features. They are presence of notochord, presence of a paired gill pouches, presence of dorsal nerve cord. These are the three important characteristic features that are found only in chordates. So, chordates are the animals which are possessing the notochord to the entire length of this animal. Now you see, chordates are characterized by the presence of notochord, dorsal nerve cord, and paired gill pouches. Notochord is a long rod-like support along the back of the animal, separating the gut and the nervous tissue, which means the notochord is present in the body of chordate animals in between the dorsal nerve cord and the ventral gut, which is otherwise called as a digestive tract. Then all chordates are triploblastic and coelomate animals. Triploblastic animals' body wall is made up of three layers: outer ectoderm, inner endoderm, and middle mesoderm. So, such kind of animals are called as a triploblastic. Then coelomate animals which are possessing the true body coelom, which is originated from the mesodermal region of the embryo. So, since the animals are possessing all such characters, therefore chordates are called as a triploblastic and coelomate animals. Now the chordates are further classified into two groups. One is prochordata, another one is vertebrata. Now we shall discuss about the characteristic features of prochordata. The prochordates are considered as the forerunners of vertebrata because prochordates have certain characteristic features. That characteristic features are very imminent or immature. But these characteristic features are developed in the vertebrate animals. Therefore, chordate animals or prochordates are called as forerunners of vertebrates. Based on the presence of notochord, based on the nature of notochord, the prochordates is classified into subphylum Urochordata and Cephalochordata. See, Urochordata, Euro means tail, chordata, presence of notochord. So, some group of animals, they possess the notochord only in the tail region. So, such kind of animals are grouped as Urochordata. For example, Ascidian. The larvae of Ascidian has the notochord in its tail region, but the adult forms are degenerated and mostly degenerated, and these adult animals are covered by a thick sac-like structure is called test or tunics. Now you see, Urochordata. Notochord is present only in the tail region of free-living larvae. Adults are sessile. Sessile form means they don't have any stop for its attachment. Directly, the animal body is attached to its own substratum. So, the adults are sessile forms and mostly degenerates. Mostly, these adult forms are disappear or will become degenerate. The body covered with a tunic. Tunic means a hard, tough, and a sac-like structure or a cover which will cover the entire body of these Urochordates. That cover is called as a tunics or test. For example, Ascidian. Don't forget the example for Urochordates or Cephalochordates or Hemichordates, right? So next it is followed by the Cephalochordata. Why the animals are classified as Cephalochordata? Subphylum Cephalochordata. You listen. Cephalon means head. Here the chordata, the animals which are possessing the notochord to the entire length of the animal. Say cephalochordates are small fish-like marine chordates with the unpaired dorsal fins. See, fishes are having fins as their locomotory organs. But here, what is the peculiarity in the arrangement of or in the presence of fins? It has unpaired fins to the entire length of this animal. It looks like a fish. The notochord extends throughout the entire length of the body. Say example for cephalochordates, Amphiaxis. See the diagram is given here. You see the center notochord is present. Just below the notochord, digestive tract or gut. Just above the notochord, the dorsal nerve cord. So dorsal nerve cord, then below notochord, and then below the digestive tract or gut. These are the three important characteristic features of all chordates. But which is the peculiar characteristic feature of this cephalochordates means that is in Amphiaxis means this notochord is present to the entire length of the body of animal. Don't forget, right? Next, vertebrata. We all know that vertebrata is the animals which are possessing the backbone, which is otherwise called as vertebral column, right? So this vertebral column is the modified form of notochord in certain advanced animals. Hence, the animals are possessing the vertebral column. These animals are called as vertebrata. Now, the vertebrata, it is a subphylum you consider. Then it is classified into 6 important classes as it is given below. One is cyclostomata, another one is Pisces, third one is amphibia, fourth one is reptilia, fifth one is aves, and the sixth one is mammalia. So these are the classes which are included under the subphylum vertebrata. That we'll see what are the salient features of the vertebrate animals. Now you see vertebrata. This group is characterized by the presence of vertebral column or backbone, notochord in any embryonic stage. Gets replaced by the vertebral column. Say, in the embryonic stage, all the animals are possessing notochord. Gradually or slowly, the notochord is transformed. The notochord is get changed into the vertebral column, which forms the chief skeletal axis of the body. Notochord is gradually transformed into the vertebral column or backbone. This vertebral column or backbone is the main axis of the body, is the chief skeletal axis of the body of all vertebrate animals. The vertebrates are grouped into 6 classes. Forget not how many classes? 6 classes. The first one is cyclostomata. A cyclo means a circle, right? Stomata means a mouth. Here there are animals which are seen in vertebrates without jaws. That is agnatha அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு பேர். Animals are not possessing upper and lower jaws. Then how they are having the opening as mouth? The mouth is not bounded with jaws. Such animals are grouped under the class cyclostomata. Now you see, cyclostomes are jawless vertebrates, mouth not bounded by jaws. That only I mentioned earlier. Body is elongated and eel-like eel, belong mean. Say, the eel is looking like a snake, but this does not belong to the group reptilia, but the eel is belong to the group cyclostomata, which is a first class in vertebrata, right? So the appearance of the cyclostomes are just like the eel-like because they are not having jaws. Then you may ask how these animals are locomoting, how these animals are attached themselves to the other animals means they have circular mouth, skin is slimy and scaleless. Usually scales are the characteristic features of fishes, but this kind of fishes are not having scales. Eel is not having scales. It has a very soft, smooth, moistured skin, right? Next, vertebrates, they are ectoparasites of fishes. See, cyclostomes are leading a parasitical life. That means what? They depend upon other animals, that is especially in fishes, for its locomotion and food, for its protection and food and shelter. How? They have a suctorial mouth. They have a sucker-like mouth with the help of which these cyclostomes are attaching themselves into the outside the body of or outside the body of the fishes. Therefore, the cyclostomes lead a ectoparasitical life. For example, hagfish, right? So the diagram of a hagfish is given in the book. That is a lamprey. Next, we will discuss about the class Pisces. Pisces, which is nothing but the fishes, right? You know the characteristic features of a fishes. Say, you can hear the proverb that is, a man is confused like the fish out of water. That means when we remove the fish from the water, it will not survive for a longer period. It will die. So, fishes are living in water, but it may be the marine water or fresh water. But water is the main, that is a place where the main habitat where the fishes are living, right? Fishes are poikilotherms. You should understand the meaning of this term, poikilotherm, right? All the animals which are able to change their body temperature according to the place of living. Suppose the surrounding temperature is some, so the body of animal is changed to get the temperature of its surroundings, or the body of animals are capable of changing its temperature according to the temperature of its surrounding. Such animals are called as poikilotherms. See, class Pisces, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, all the animals which are found in these classes of phylum Vertebrata, subphylum Vertebrata and phylum Chordata are able to change their body temperature according to their surrounding. Therefore, all such a class of animals are called as poikilotherms. What are the classes of animals are poikilotherms? Class Pisces, class Amphibia and class Reptilia. Don't forget, my dear students. Right. Next, cold-blooded aquatic vertebrate with jaws. They are Gnathostomata. That means fishes or animals are seen with jaws, upper and lower jaws. Right. Next, according to the shape of the body of animals, they are called as streamline-bodied animals. Right. So the body is organized in such a way to swim or to locomote in water in a rapid speed. That is a streamline or boat-shaped body is divisible into head, trunk and tail. You know that the fishes are living in water, but fishes are fastly swimming in water or fastly locomoting in water. What are the locomotory organs of fishes? As you all know that fins. Fins are the locomotory organs of fishes. Fins may be classified into difference according to their location and functions. They are dorsal fins, caudal fins, ventral fins, and anal fins, etc. etc. Right? So locomotion is by paired and median fins. Right? All the fins are paired in nature. Their body is covered with scales. I told you. Say, scales are the characteristic features. So scales are the exoskeleton of the fishes because the entire body is covered by scales. Scales may be indifferent according to the shape or according to the function of scales. They may be different, but scales are the exoskeleton of all the fishes which are living in water, both marine and freshwater. Right. Next, they are doing their respiration with the help of gills. Gills are the locomotory organs of aquatic animals because gills are the organs which are able to separate the water able to absorb oxygen from the water, right? Next, fishes are having two chambered heart. One upper chamber is called as auricle, and one lower chamber is called as a ventricle. Two chambered heart is the characteristic feature of fishes. Then fishes can be classified into two main divisions on the basis of the endoskeleton that are possessing. Some fishes are seen with a cartilaginous endoskeleton. Such fishes are called cartilaginous fishes, with a skeleton is made up of cartilages. For example, sharks and cats. Then another kind of fishes are possessing the endoskeleton, which is made up of bones. Such type of fishes are called as bony fishes. For example, carps are mullets. Thus, fishes are also classified on the basis of the nature of endoskeleton which are found in them. Right. Next, the fishes is followed by the next class is called as amphibia.